Well, technical difficulties again tonight, y'all, but here I am. Good to see y'all. I hated missing y'all last week. Let me tell you what happened. Last Monday, I noticed that I was walking a little bent over. It kind of surprised me, so I straightened up right quick, and I said, okay, well, whatever. Then I noticed that my right foot, my right stride was a little short. I thought, what in the world? So I straightened up and I went to take a regular stride. And when I did, bam, that sciatic nerve, everything clamped down on it, and I had a pinched nerve in my back. Extremely painful, and I was not able to focus. I literally just lay on the couch. I could not get in a comfortable position. It just hurt so bad. Hey, y'all. So I was not able to focus last week at all. I apologize for being gone and going so suddenly, but I kept hoping that it would let up or give me a break. Well, the chiropractor got a hold of me, and it took him 3 days of working on it, but he finally popped that thing loose. And he said not to wait so long next time before coming in. Well, I need to be intentional about that. When I see things not going quite right there, I need to get into my chiropractor and get that tended to before it turns into what it turned into. That kind of is a segue into what I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about being intentional. This has been a very busy season for me. A very, very busy season, and I found that I love seeing y'all on there. I love y'all. I have found that things have been getting behind in some areas. Some things that I've been needing to get to have not been getting done because I've had to reprioritize some things in my life right now. It leaves me frustrated because I want to get these things done. Sorry, I'm shaking this. Let me back this up. Let me just move this table. Hold on. Is that better? Now maybe I won't shake it so much. When I don't get these things done, it gets me very frustrated and agitated, and I end up getting overwhelmed. Well, when I get overwhelmed, what I have a tendency to do is avoid. Just go to my happy place. Just ignore it. You know, I'm overwhelmed. I'm just not even going to think about it. Well, that gives me a semblance of peace, but it doesn't give me a resolution to the issue. So is that really peace, or is that just masking and pretending to be at peace? I have to be intentional about certain things in my life, and I'm going to have to be very intentional while I have this rearrangement going on. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I caught myself sliding into that tendency of mine to get overwhelmed and to get frustrated, and then that goes into being overwhelmed. And I said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be intentional. So I looked up a couple of meanings here. The word tend, I tend to do whatever. It's a natural leaning or inclination. Okay, it's passive. You just let it, it just happens naturally. And then there's intend, I intend. It's to have or make a plan. It's like thinking it through. Okay? Then there is intention. Now listen to the definition. The act of determining mentally upon some action to produce a result. Did you hear how many action words were in intention or intentional? The act of determining mentally upon some action to produce a result. See, you can tend, let's take an example. Limbs in the pasture. I have something on my lip. I'm sorry, y'all. I have limbs down in the pasture. We have a lot of trees, so a lot of limbs fall. I tend to just kind of ignore them because they're going to continue to fall. But then I intend to get out there and get them picked up. I always intend to do that, you know, and I know that I need to do this and I need to do that, and we can stack them up there and then we can burn them, and yeah, okay, that's a good plan. But then when I am intentional about it, I set a date, I set a time. I talk to my husband, okay, what weekend okay, because I can't do it on my own, it's just too much. Okay, if you'll get the tractor on Saturday morning, well, it looks like we're going to have good weather, checked it out. Okay, we're going to go out, we're going to pick up all the limbs in the front pasture and get them stacked and start the burn. You see, it's intentional, it's an action, it gets it done. It's the difference in letting things happen, thinking about things happening, or making them happen. And that's, life. So much comes from living intentionally. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to fill every waking moment with stuff. Get this done, get that done, get this done, get that done. I get distracted by all of y'all's comments. I love y'all. Hey, Queen. Hey, Kathy. Jan. If I live intentionally, I can even have extra time. I can get more done and have extra time for recreation or relaxation. It gives you a feeling of productivity. It gives you a feeling of controlling yourself and your time. And it relieves a lot of stress. And it just feels good. It just feels good to live intentionally. When I get into that busy mode where I just have found myself recently, where it's go, 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 and I don't schedule intentionally or live intentionally to bring these other things in line and get them done, they stack up. Then I get overwhelmed. Then I feel like I just can't catch up. And I'm stressed. So even when I'm relaxing, I'm not relaxing. I'm laying there thinking, boy, if I just had the energy to get up and go do so-and-so. Whereas if I intentionally say, okay, before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to be sure that kitchen is clean. When I wake up in the morning, I've set a goal. I'm going to go in and clean up any dishes that are left over, wipe everything down. When I get up the next morning, first of all, I can sleep better. Then I walk into a clean kitchen and I'm like, yeah, okay. Day started out a little better than it would have if I'd have been facing a load of dishes, right? It's just intention. I have two lists on my refrigerator right now. One is the right away list, and one is the this fall list. And of course, mentally, I have my someday list. But my right away list is these are the things I want to prioritize getting done right away. I know that I can. They won't take long to do. I know that I can in the next few weeks get these done. I know that I can't get this and this done until this fall when things slow down with my husband's job and I can have his help on them. You see, I have my two different lists now. Some will get moved over. Some will get taken off. Some will get added. But we have to, for me, I have to have those lists, and that's my visual. I like to write them out, and then I like to post them where I can see them. Sometimes I have a picture. Like when I wanted to buy a tractor, I had a picture of a tractor that I would, okay, this is what I want to get. I want these things on it. Because we have some land and stuff. I needed to have a tractor that I could handle. And so a visual, people talk about vision boards and different things like that. Maybe you need that. Get a vision board, write out and put pictures with what you're going to do. Designate a time frame. And my example for that is Tuesdays. I had let myself get busy and found myself putting a few extra things in on Tuesdays. Tuesday is my day to completely decompress, to be home if I can possibly be home, just soak up the Lord's presence, just love on Him, spend some time in prayer, spend extra time in the Word. See, I'd even let my study time get away from me through all of this busy stuff because I wasn't getting in the Word like I wanted to. I felt that drain happening. I need to be intentional about it. We need to be intentional. An example of intentional living is found right there in Psalm 1:1. Listen to the word. Blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. You have to be intentional here. Do not follow ungodly counsel. I have a dear friend right now who is facing a very difficult pregnancy with some diagnoses where the child is concerned, and she was actually advised to go ahead and just abort and start again. That's ungodly advice. That's ungodly advice. God gave that child life, and there's a purpose for that child. I'm very, very proud of this young couple. They said, no, this is our child. Are you kidding me? No. And they have chosen to not listen to ungodly counsel. Do not stand idly by. Don't stand in the way of sinners, the scripture says. Don't stand idly by when you see things happening. I have a friend who was really tormented by a group of kids in school. I mean, tormented, just picked on mercilessly. And I didn't see it happen. I didn't know. I mean, I knew-ish that it was happening because, you hear things. But I never saw it happen. But a couple of the really popular girls in school did see it and sat idly by and did nothing. It crushed this young woman when she was a girl. It crushed her to see these people just treat her that way, and then others just sit there and ignore it like, I'm not gonna say anything. Y'all know me. I don't tolerate that kind of stuff. I'd have been like, hey, have y'all lost your minds? As another human being, you will not talk that way in front of me. Well, anyway, I wasn't there. It's probably a good thing in some ways, because I probably would have gotten myself in all kinds of trouble. But I would have said something. It also says, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. Do not get comfortable, y'all, hanging out with people who are scornful. These are people who mock, who have contempt, who despise other people. We're in a political season, and that can be really, it's ridiculous to me that two adults, even if they have completely different opinions or values or convictions, why can two reasonable adults not have a conversation? When you have someone that's just going to, you don't agree with me, and they go crazy, it's ridiculous. Do not get comfortable in that kind of presence, y'all. Because we want to be blessed. We want to walk in God's blessing. When you bake a cake, I made coleslaw this week for an outing. I followed the recipe because I wanted a good result. I tasted it, and it tasted awful. And then I realized the vinegar I had used was concentrated. It was 6 times. I thought it said 3. It said 6 times more powerful. It was concentrated. More powerful than regular vinegar. So needless to say, we chunked that and started again. It turned out really good when I mixed it right, but I had to mix it right. I had to go buy the recipe. God gives us the recipe, y'all. He gives us the recipe to live successful, blessed lives. If we will follow the recipe, things will turn out good. My daughter used to say, because she's well into her 30s now, but when she was little bitty, she had learned the word intention and attention at the same time. And she would run up to her daddy and she'd say, Daddy, I need your intention. I need your intention. And I just loved that. Because think about it. I need you to actively focus on me right now. I need you to focus and purpose to be in my world right now. I thought that was so cute. Well, I was really proud of her the other day. As a young woman, she's out there. She was having a really bad day. And she had a choice. After work, she could go home, get her a container of Haagen-Dazs, put on a sappy movie, and sit there and wallow in it. and then feel guilty about eating the ice cream and be miserable at the outcome of the movie. Or she could combat. She was intentional. She called my daughter-in-law. They went out and had a bite to eat and then went and got coffee and laughed and cut up. And both of them fussing about how bad their days had been. But they were intentional. They chose not to stay in that place. They chose not to, they were intentionally rearrange things in their world so that they could walk in victory, because the word says this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice. Of my own free will, I choose to rejoice and be glad in it. So even though they were still mully-grubbing about their day, they weren't down about it, they were laughing about it. See, that was intentional. She took action. She did something about it. A couple of scriptures I want to share with y'all. Colossians 3:23 says that anything we do, do as unto the Lord. Give him whatever it is that you're focusing on, whatever you need to. If you need to set some priorities in your life. If I catch myself, I have gotten really lax lately with my diet. And I found myself, I tend to like sweets and baked goods. And I was letting myself just do what came naturally, and that was just eat whatever I wanted. Well, that's not going to have a good result. So I have to intentionally eat the right things. So I made a change. You see, I can sit back with the best of intentions as the word is used incorrectly, because intentions are intention is the action word, but I can intend to eat right while I'm sitting there dunking my donut. Or I can intentionally say, you know what, I will pass. I'll have the coffee, thank you. No, thank you, on the donut. I have to be intentional about it, right? And if I'm going to ask the Lord to help me keep my health up, then I have to give him something to work with. Ephesians 5:15 and 16 tells us very clearly to walk in wisdom, to not walk as fools. We have the knowledge. We have the tools. We just have to use them. We have to be intentional. Now, this is the key scripture that I want you to think about tonight. Proverbs 4:25 through 27 says, let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths for your feet. Be steadfast in all of your ways. Do not turn to the right or to the left. Keep your foot from evil. That is a powerful set of scriptures right there. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths of your feet. Be steadfast in all of your ways. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil. Y'all, if we want to be blessed, if we want to be productive, if we want to walk in victory, we have to use the recipe he's given us. We have to walk in wisdom. We have to apply the tools we've been given. And I'm so proud of y'all when I get messages from you saying, I laced up. I was having a tough day, or I was having a tough situation, or whatever. And they'll say, I laced up. I got texts, I got messages, and I love it. I love it when you share those things with me. Y'all can reach me here, messaging me on Facebook or Messenger. You can reach me through, let me think, KellyLace@yahoo.com, of course. And that's just all one word, KellyLace@yahoo.com. And I am going to get more of these onto YouTube. I really, really am. Like I said, it's been a busy season. Y'all cut me some grace there, okay? I love you all. Live intentionally. Lace up and keep on walking. Mwah. Love you bunches. Later.